Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cash back. Hey guys, welcome to episode 1 of season 5 at Sunderland. We are still a Premier League side. We didn't do it the easy way, but we did survive in the Premier League last season. We are looking to improve the team to hopefully have a more comfortable season this time around and maybe push for the top half. Who knows, maybe even a European spot, but I'd be happy with just top half this year and the further growth of the youngsters in the team. The starting 11 is very strong. Harrison is now 81 rated. Keane is up top at 83. We've still Jack Clark on the left. Yearwood and McAllister in the middle. Gooch is away on international duty with the United States, currently at the World Cup. I am thinking about replacing him on the right-hand side of my midfield, either by moving Jack Clark across to the right side and buying a new left wing, or maybe just outright buying a new right-sided midfielder to replace Lyndon Gooch. We do have Ed Murphy. He's not amazing physically, but very good technically to potentially play on the right-hand side, but I'd lean towards someone that's slightly more developed and higher rated at present to replace Lyndon Gooch as an improvement to the first team rather than a player that's probably going to perform about the same as Lyndon Gooch. But Murphy and Jamal Lowe will certainly still be my backup wingers this year. Up top, looking to replace Sean Maguire, so I'm going to need another striker. We do have Green, but he's not necessarily at the stage yet where he's going to have an impact on the first team. Looking to sell on Sam Nicholson. We brought up Zimmerman and Thomas from the youth setup, mainly because they said they were going to leave unless I did. Zimmerman has the potential to be special, so we are certainly going to try and train the hell out of him and see if he grows as much as we would like. Also looking to sell on Bettinelli and bring in another goalkeeper. Also looking to, better goalkeeper. Looking to sell on Ravel Morrison and maybe improve in midfield as well with a centre mid signing. However, we don't have a massive budget to do all of these things with. We had a bigger budget last year when we brought more across from our championship season. We have a budget of £44 million. This isn't a lot of money in the current climate of the financial scenario in Europe. But Jordan Pickford is the only name on my shortlist at present. We're wanting to drastically improve Bettinelli. Pickford would be coming home to Sunderland. He's 87 rated though, so perhaps you might like me to find someone that is slightly more suited to our situation. And maybe we'd sign Pickford later, but he's 28 and getting on a bit, so we would perhaps, if we are going to want to bring Pickford back, do it sooner rather than later. He would, however, take up a significant chunk of my budget, if not all of it, at this stage. So think long and hard about what you want me to do at goalkeeper. We're looking to sell Bettinelli. He's on 41 grand a week, valued at 4.3 million. Nicholson is on almost £60,000 a week, valued at 3.7. Morrison is valued at 12, which is a good chunk, but he's only on 29 grand a week, so we're not going to get much wage-wise there. And Sean Maguire is £5 million and 18.5 thousand pounds a week, so that's 25 million pounds we could raise via the sale of players if they all went full value. Lyndon Gooch actually wasn't on that list, was he? I don't think I had Lyndon Gooch on that list, did I? No, I would be open and am open to selling Lyndon Gooch, but I don't know whether I want to commit to that until I know how much money I'm going to have to spend. If you got, plus I'd leave it to you guys. He's only 26. I'll leave it to you guys to decide the future of Lyndon Gooch. I won't sell him now in episode 1, but I may sell him in episode 2 in the month of August once I've had your feedback. We are in a pre-season tournament, so an immediate offer for Ravel Morrison, although it's undervalued. We are in a pre-season tournament with about £6.5 million available to be added to the budget should we win it, but I'm not overly confident of winning this particular tournament. I'll ask for 16 million for Ravel Morrison. We'll see if they'll go a little bit higher. They're absolutely sure they don't want to pay that. I will check and see what his contract situation is like, because if obviously players are running out of contracts, then I'm not going to be able to charge a premium fee for them. And I have a number of players, half the bloody squad in fact, is running out of contract at the end of this season, so I'm not going to be able to charge a premium for players like Ravel Morrison. However, I am going to be able to hopefully get the majority of those players re-signed on longer deals, and fingers crossed for around about what they're already on. I don't want to be giving everybody a wage rise and find that I'm running out of money later in the window. We'll reject the offer from Roma for Tamori. Offer Sean Maguire from Anderlecht to 4.5. I will negotiate slightly. Sean Maguire was instrumental in our rise through the leagues. Top goal scorer in League 1, top goal scorer in League 2. Sorry, in League 1 and top goal scorer in the Championship in Season 2. But unfortunately, actually no, it was Season 3, wasn't it, by the time we got to the Championship, because we lost in the playoffs in Season 1. But sadly for us, Sean Maguire was not good enough to cut it in the Premier League. And he will be leaving us this window, and we'll be signing, hopefully, a new striker. I'm going to have to be very careful moving the money around, because I'm not sure we've got a massive amount to bring in hugely talented players. We might have to, rather than going straight from mid to late 70s players to mid 80s players, we might end up having to find ourselves go to early 80s players to be able to afford the number of players we want to bring in. It's not like we've got 50 to 60 million pounds to sign one player with. I'm wanting 2 or 3 players in this window, or certainly this season, and to split that budget that many ways, we are going to have to be careful with how we spend our money, and we won't be able to afford much higher rated players than what we've currently got. But hopefully we can get the players of quality for a cheaper fee, and hopefully get ourselves an improved squad and ultimately an improved finish in the league. We finished 13th last year, although we were in the relegation zone for the majority of the season. It was only the last 2 or 3 months where things actually turned around for us. I'm actually quite happy to accept that offer from Toulouse for Sam Nicholson. That extra £60,000 a week wage-wise will come in handy. Why I ever agreed to a renegotiated deal of £60,000 for a player like that, I have no idea. Sean Maguire is gone. Unfortunately for him, he leaves us, and we no longer have our lower league star. He's gone. Onto the bench comes Harrison Green in his place. And Keane gives us a 1-0 lead here as George Harrison, his strike partner, gets booked at the same time. Juan Foyth getting a yellow card too. A victory in this second game should certainly see us through out of the group stage of this pre-season tournament. I am kind of confident of doing well in this tournament, but at the same time, we're still not an amazing side. We have improved, obviously, in the winter window last year with Foyth, McAllister and Keane, and ultimately they were the signings that helped us improve our results overall to get survival. But as things stand, we're still not an amazing team. I am training Zimmerman. I'm open to training a couple of others of the youngsters as well, but we're going to concentrate at the minute on some of the players that are touch too low, borderline with regards to first team squad, but hopefully players like Ward Nicholson's gone. An offer for Bettinelli of 5.4. I'm happy to sell him for that, for 5.4 million. We're not going to get a massive amount more for him, to be completely honest, so I'm happy to continue on with the way that things are at present. Bettinelli will start for us here for the oh wow, red card in a friendly in the 5th minute for their right back. Not the best of starts for Frankfurt here. I am willing to play the youth goalkeepers we have for the time being, but they're not good enough to play for me long term. Like, I don't mind waiting until the end of August to bring in a new goalkeeper if we have to. I would like to bring in a new goalkeeper this window though. I don't want to wait until January because neither of our youth goalkeepers are good enough to make the step up at this moment in time. We're through to the next round of the Cup though. Morgan Turner's had a bid for him. He's unhappy and would like to leave, but I'm not letting him go just yet. He's going to hopefully continue to grow this year and prove to be a very good player for us in future seasons. A transfer offer for Ravel Morrison here from Huddersfield, which is slightly closer to valuation. Now, Stuttgart just walked away from a £16 million counter, but they offered lower to start with. I shall counter at 15 and see if Huddersfield are willing to negotiate from there. 11.8, still lower than valuation. We'll remove the sell-on clause because that artificially adds extra value to the transfer, and I would like just money. 12.8, they're getting there, they're coming up How about 13.6? See if they'll accept that, kind of meet them halfway from our previous deal, and indeed they will. That's going to be the biggest deal we're able to get through with regards moving a player on and bringing a chunk of money in. So I'm relatively happy with that. Bettinelli is now gone. Youth Scout report is available. We're still looking out in Germany and in England. And nothing has been amazing recently. The past 3 or 4 scout reports haven't been too promising. But we do have a number of youth players in the club already. So perhaps we should be happy with what we've got and just grow what we've got. We do have a couple of players that do have the potential to be special and grow really, really quickly. Or hopefully grow quite substantially between now and the end of their careers, or the end of the save. We'll have to wait and see if we can. Oh wow, 2 penalties in the space of 3 minutes. McCullough to miss the first, so good guts and good courage to step up and tuck away the second. 2-0 in this semi-final. It looks like we'll be going through to the final, and Braga have turned it around. No! Saint-Etienne equalised late on. Who will we have in the final on penalties? Is it Saint-Etienne or is it Braga? It will be Saint-Etienne, scoring the 89th minute and earn themselves. Jimmy Dunn's unhappy, Jamie Ward's unhappy. Sorry lads, you're not going anywhere at present. I need the scored numbers. Edwards is a player that is also pushing to maybe play the odd game here and there. Certainly good enough to fill the gap if we lose Max Lowe to injury. Similarly, Morgan Turner is good enough to fill the gap should we lose James Justin to injury. Alfie Watson wants to start, but at the minute Cooper is getting that nod, and looks like Lyndon Gooch is back from international duty. We'll check actually at the end of the month how the World Cup went. Wood with the goal after 5 minutes. Annoying. Someone with my surname. I imagine that's Bobby Wood as opposed to Chris Wood, who has the exact same name as me. Bobby Wood, the American, used to play in Germany, I think. Now in France. Keane gives us a 2-1 lead after Jack Clark gave us an equaliser. Jack Clark scored in almost every single game, hasn't he? Wood's done it again, and on penalties we lose to Saint-Etienne. They did it late against Braga, they've done it late against us, and penalties has done us on both occasions. Jamal Lowe is unhappy. Morrison is sold. A transfer offer for Max Lowe, which we should be rejecting. And the board are happy enough, I would have thought, with the performance in the cup. So do we have anyone else left to sell? Nobody left to sell. So at present, Jordan Pickford's my only name on the shortlist, but I don't have a massive amount of money. We have about 70 million, and that's with a very small wage budget there, so probably about 65 million, if not less. I need a goalkeeper for sure. I would like a winger, and then if you'd like me to sell Gooch, then we can do. I would like another striker, a backup striker, if we can possibly get one. And as you can see, the numbers in the squad are running low. However, I do have a number of other youngsters that I can call up to fill the void, but I don't know whether anyone's good enough yet to be able to make the difference. Ed Phillips, 76 to 84 potential. I'm actually contemplating letting him go. His potential window has dropped substantially. And whilst he does have decent physicals, the technicals are nowhere near good enough. I'll wait for your feedback there. 80 to 94 for Emil Neumann. He could still be good. Timo Graf, 71 to 83. Again, good, decent physicals to build from, so maybe technically we could grow him. Billy Hughes, 87 to 93. He's looking very promising. We are training him. Ewan King, I'm going to let him go. Cameron Morris, 88 to 94 for him. So very promising there. 79 to 94 for Toby Roberts as well at right back, or potentially left back. So we've centre mids, wingers, a striker and a right back in our youth setup. So we have a number of players in a number of positions. But what do we do with the starting lineup? Certainly want a goalkeeper, and could then maybe replace Gooch on the right hand side. Maybe end up keeping Gooch, use Jamal Lowe as a backup striker again, and have Murphy and Gooch as backup wingers, with Zimmerman there as a player that is going to grow. We've got two backup centre backs, two backup wing backs. I'm going to need another centre midfielder actually, aren't I? I definitely want a goalkeeper, and I definitely need a centre mid. Maybe we should look to centre mid before moving on Lyndon Gooch. I will leave it in your trusty hands. I won't advance any further. We've no one else we want to sell, so we can't raise any more money. And I don't want to advance so far that players you might be interested in bringing in end up signing for someone else before we have the opportunity to look at them. So that's where we'll end it for today's episode. It's always a shorter one for episode 1 of a new season as we get cracking, but we've an okay amount of money to spend, but we do have a lot of improving to do, so it's going to be a tough one this window. And again, it's going to be another tough season. Do drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on this second season at Premier League level. Hopefully we'll do better than last year, but we will wait and see. Raheem Sterling to Paris Saint-Germain, Aouar to Real Madrid, and Bobby Firmino to AC Milan, the biggest moves so far in the window. We'll do some hopefully sizable enough transfers of our own, but who will they be? You tell me. I'll see you tomorrow.